Good evening, everyone. Hello. It is so exciting to see so many people gathered together for the annual Gala auction and virtual benefit for the Oregon Immigration Foundation. Thanks for being here, belonging with us all together. And I am here to tell you that our event will begin in just about 15 minutes. But there are a couple of things I want to remind everyone of. One, we have a live auction that is underway. And Chris, don't worry, I see you in the chat, macaw recipe moments from now with a full tutorial. But make sure that you are logged into our auction software, Octria, because right now, Liza Reynes is getting the Seattle family trip, and the Gearhart trip is going to Brian, and Alan is going to Newburgh. So if you want to be bidding on any of our live auction items, all the live auction items are open. You can bid on them in Octria. Also, if you have not yet joined us in the YouTube chat, please come join us. Nadia, Henry, Chris, so nice to see you, and John and Theo. Oh, wow, I know. If you open those boxes, there's exciting things inside. And the great thing is all you have to do is bid. We're going to have games and prizes and surprises and trivia right here in the chat. And if you want to win some of our trivia games, you do have to have a free YouTube account, which YouTube calls a channel. So make sure you have a free YouTube account. Here are some directions and ways that you can create that. It's very, very quick. While you are doing all of that, I also want to tell you about our 50-50 raffle. We have a raffle this evening. 50-50 means that 50% will stay with the Oregon Immigration Foundation and the other 50% will be yours if you are the winner. Only $25 a ticket, and very good news, we have already sold over 60 tickets. And so that means that the prize is over $750. So if you would like to win our 50-50 raffle, make sure you purchase those tickets in Octria. While you are gathering yourself, being ready to join in our program about 10 minutes from now, it is my great privilege to welcome our mix master mixologist of the evening, here to show us how to make a delicious custom cocktail, the Le Macaw. Please give it up for our Oregon Immigration Foundation bartender, John Mirandis. John, welcome. How are you?
Thanks, Ian. Hello, AILA friends. We're here today to mix up another drink. So this drink is called the Macaw, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory. So if you were on one of the Nicaraguan dinner cocktail cruises this summer, that was one of the drinks that was served. It was served as soon as you arrived at our house, and hopefully people liked it. I think people will like it. So let's talk a little bit about it. So the Macaw, which is macaw in English, it's a bird that's native to Nicaragua. And this drink came about when the Florida Caña Rum Company was having a competition, and they were trying to come up with a national drink, and of course it was featuring their rum. And there was, this is back in 2006, the winner was Dr. Edmundo Miranda, no relation to the Mirandis family. He's from Granada, Nicaragua, and he came up with this drink. And so this drink has, has the light rum, it has guava juice, it has orange juice, lemon juice, and we're gonna garnish it with an orange at the end. And so here we go, let's mix it up. And I've got, right here, I've got a shaker full of ice, and then we're gonna pour it over a glass full of ice. And so we've got the Nicaraguan light rum, hard to come by these days, but any light rum will do. We've got guava juice. And so what we do is we use guava juice, and I think if you go actually just slightly above the 1 ounce of guava juice, I think we actually do 2 ounces of guava juice in lieu of the simple serve. That'll make it sweet enough. So we'll pour that in. Orange juice. Lemon juice. And this is freshly squeezed, so you can use one of those squeezers. Just remove the seeds, of course. And we'll shake it up. Always shake away from yourself. You may recall that from last year. No, I'm just kidding. Shake toward yourself. All right, that should do it. And we're gonna pour it. It's got this unique, tasty looking color, kind of orangish. There we go. Nope, still going. There we go. All right, we'll garnish it, and then we'll serve it up. And so cheers to another AILA Gala. Back to you, Ian.
John, thank you. Amy is saying that that sounds delicious, which it does. And Sarah, yes, I know. Such a wonderful bartender is Mr. Mirandis. Like a tropical dream, says Nadia. Exactly. So we're going to give you about 5 minutes to go. It's so easy. John just showed us how to make the macaw or whatever else it is that you would like to have as we all gather together to celebrate the incredible work of immigrant attorneys and the wider group of community members who are with us this evening throughout this past year, and also bid on some auction items and have some fun trivia. So grab whatever you need to be totally ready for a party, and we will see you here in, about 6 or 7 minutes. We're so glad to have you here. Welcome. Good evening, everyone, again, and thank you so much. We are so excited to have you here at the annual AILA Gala Belonging Begins With Us, the virtual benefit for the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. My name is Ian Lindsay, and it is my great privilege to get to be here helping to host this annual event again. And we can see that so many of you are joining us, and we are so grateful that you are here with us tonight for this benefit to support the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. The foundation works to strengthen legal representation of vulnerable families in Oregon, immigrants, and those seeking safety in the United States. And as we begin, we'd like to acknowledge that the indigenous peoples are the traditional stewards of the land, and the enduring relationship that exists between them and their traditional territories. And we acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced occupation of their territory, and we respect the many diverse indigenous peoples connected to the land on which we gather this evening. And so thank you all for gathering with us. And some of you may have been here with us before, and I can see that many of you have found your way to our YouTube chat. Beth, John is wondering if you can put the recipe for le macaw somewhere where people can find it. And I think that is probably possible. And John, one way to do it would be if you could email that recipe to Robin. Robin, you could put it into the description right below this live stream, and then people would be able to find it and it wouldn't keep moving down in the chat. That's just a thought. So John, maybe send it over to our team and we'll put it where everybody can see it so easily. Please come join us in the chat. All you have to do is create a free YouTube account. And that free account is called a channel. YouTube calls it a channel, but it's just what they call their free account. And it will allow you to jump in and be part of the conversation. And also, we are going to have games and prizes and surprises. Thank you, Theo. Yes, I very much agree. And hello, Christian. And hello, Diana. So many people joining us this evening. So come join us in the chat because we're going to have games and prizes and surprises and the opportunity to cheer for amazing honorees that we have the privilege of welcoming a little bit later during our program. It's so easy to do. And I want to emphasize, we're going to have trivia. And there are really great prizes for those who most quickly answer our trivia questions. But in order to play our trivia, you have to be in the chat to win the prizes. That's where you're going to answer the trivia, and we're going to find out who knows a few things. So make sure you do that. When you get to the chat, make sure that it says live chat up at the top of your chat box, just like this. You do not want it to say top chat. You want it to say live chat. Sophia, we are excited that you are here as well. Thank you for coming. And Frank, Mr. Garcia, word up to you, my friend. We're so glad you're here also. Yes, I mean, right back at you. I also want to mention that we have a live auction that is underway right now. You want to be sure that you are logged in to our auction software, Octria. And I can see that many people are, in fact, logged into Octria because people are bidding. We have incredible live auction items, and we do recommend that you consider using a second device to be logged into Octria. So use maybe your phone or a tablet or a second device so that you can watch here and then bid on that second device. Because when things get going very quickly, when the bidding gets going quickly, you're going to want your thumbs to be ready to keep you in the lead. Like right now, Caroline thinks that she gets to do the Newburgh day date, which involves being in Newburgh during the day and I believe some wine. But you know, there's still more time. So make sure you're registered and logged into Octria. And while you are in Octria, I also highly recommend that you find our 50-50 raffle. In a 50-50 raffle, 50% of the total ticket sales come to you, and 50% of the 50-50 raffle sales stay with the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. Right now, the prize for the 50-50 raffle is over $800. The prize is over $800. Only $25 a ticket, make sure you get some raffle tickets now before we draw the winner a little bit later during our event. And also, we just want to point out, I'm being told that the recipe for the macaw is on the auction website. So if you go to charityauction.bid / Oregon AILA 21. If you go to this website, you will be able to log in to Octria and make bids in our live auction, which many people are doing. You will also be able to find the recipe for John Mirandis's macaw. And so congratulations. And James and Renee and Caroline are all in the lead on auction items, as is Richard and Alan and Eric Weidman. A lot of people have found how to log in. Exactly. So Sophia, exactly. Oh yes. John says that the macaw goes down like fruit punch, which I think is a good thing, right, John? All right. Please take a moment to find at the bottom of your chat bar the emojis. As Sophia is doing right now, you will find the emojis underneath the little smiley face. Oh, hello, Lynn Moore. So nice to see you. I'm so excited to welcome you to our virtual stage in just a few minutes, and thank you for joining. And John Herrera, oh, so good to see you as well. So, okay, find the emojis, and if you could tell us with emojis what you are eating or drinking at your house, or just drinking according to this slide, if you could tell us what you are having to drink, maybe you're having a macaw, and just a little power user move, just a little tip. If you are looking for a specific emoji, type the colon, and then type a word, like I am gonna find the clap emoji like this by typing the word clap, and then you will be able to find specific emojis. So, John, I'm wondering what that fancy macaw emoji is called. If anybody knows how to find that fancy macaw emoji, ooh, Christian's having a little red wine. That sounds good. Very nice. Yeah, Nadia, what is the name of that emoji? Can you tell people so that we can find it? Ice cream? Renee, I'm coming to your house. That sounds great. Champagne. Lynn, I like it. Just champagne. Yeah, unfortunately, there's not an emoji for champagne. Why? I have no idea, but there should be. And Nadia, will you tell us what it's called? We want to know. Just write the word without the... Oh, Theo, now there you go. That's a macaw. Okay, perfect. So we are so excited that you are all here and you are all doing it just right. Type drink. Haha. Really? That's drink? You gotta be kidding me. That's what YouTube thinks a drink is? No, that is not what it's gotta be called something else. Okay. Okay, we're gonna find out. Somebody's gonna let us in on the secret of what that is called, and we're gonna find out what it is. While you are all doing that, congratulations. I still don't know what it's called. I copy and pasted it. That's another trick. If you would now find the applause emoji, find the clapping emoji like this, because, okay, you guys, mine does not do that. I am so jealous. Yours is so cool. Find the applause emoji because it is time to thank a group of people without whom we could not be here. If you would give a huge round of applause for the sponsors of the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. We want to thank all of our amazing sponsors. Our premier sponsors, Parker, Butte, and Lane PC. Thank you. And Tonkin Torp LLP. Would you give it up for our sponsors? And sponsors, I hope you can see that so many people are applauding for you right now. To our presenting sponsors, Gonzalez, and Gonzalez Immigration Law Office, thank you so much. To Perilli Renison LLC, thank you. And to Nelson Smith LLP, thank you so very, very much. To our gold sponsors, Mirandis Garcia Law Group LLC, Black Helterline LLP, Waxler and Lay Immigration Law LLC, and the Law Office of Maria Zlateva, thank you so much. Give it up for all of our sponsors, including our silver sponsors, Meadowlark Immigration PC, and also Bend Immigration Law. Thank you, thank you, thank you to all of our amazing sponsors. We are so grateful to the Law Office of Shara Svensson. Also, so many sponsors. We could not do it without you sponsors. Thank you. And in the chat, I just want you to know sponsors. Amy and Holly and Frank and Nadia and Jamie and Elena and Renee. So many people. And Kate are giving it up for our sponsors. So thank you. Now, I do want to just remind everyone, you are doing the chat so well. I can see you all. And if you're not yet in the chat, well, we're about to play trivia for the first time. And the prize for our first round of trivia is a bottle of Viognier from Seasoned Cellars, a 2015 Viognier from Seasoned Cellars. So if you would like the chance to win that bottle of wine, you do have to be in the chat with us. That's how we're gonna know if you get the question, correctly, if you answer correctly. So remember that all you have to do is create a free YouTube account, which YouTube calls a channel, and then you will be able to come and join us in the chat and answer this question. Okay, so are you ready? We are gonna call this our victory game, and our first round of our victory game, our trivia victory game, is sponsored by Parker Butte and Lane PC, our amazing sponsor, so thank you. And this is how it works. I'm gonna ask you a trivia question, and the third person who correctly puts the answer into the chat will win the bottle of Seasoned Cellars Viognier. Why the third person, you're asking? Well, because we are here on the World Wide Web, and you may all be answering very quickly and correctly at the same time, and so to make it somewhat fair, we're gonna take the third answer that lands. It means that it's one of the fastest answers. All right, so the third person who correctly answers this question will receive the bottle of wine. Are you ready? What is the Oregon State bird? Does anybody know? And Allie, I don't know if it's fair for you to play, but that's a little hint. Amy, okay, very nice. It is, Amy's got it. No. 1, 2, Kate. It's Sarah! Sarah Purse is the third correct answer. Oh, Sarah, congratulations. Chicken hawk is not right. Frank, nicely done. And it is the western meadowlark. It is not the cardinal, but I believe Sarah Purse. Nicely done, Sarah. Congratulations. Got it right. Nicely done. Delia, you got it. Don't worry. We're going to play this game a few more times, so be ready with your fingers to play. I now have the great privilege of introducing someone who really needs no introduction because she has been such an incredible advocate, such an incredible supporter of AILA and the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. Would you please welcome an attorney at Parker Butte and Lane, the current chair of the Oregon chapter of the American Immigration Lawyers Association, and someone I happen to know who has done as much as anyone to gather us at this gala over many years. Please welcome the one and only Anaya Palmer. Anaya, welcome. We are so glad you're here.
Hello, good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Oregon AILA chapter, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2021 Oregon AILA Gala, coming to you virtually for the second time in a row. We hoped we would be able to meet in person this year, but obviously the pandemic had other plans. Regardless, throughout these unusual times, I continue to be impressed and amazed by our members and our community's innovation, flexibility, and continued motivation to provide exceptional legal support to Oregon's immigrant community. In particular, I'm very pleased to be honoring tonight 3 people who have worked tirelessly on behalf of our immigrant community in Oregon. Brian Conray, who we all know for his dedication to ensuring fair and just application of the criminal laws in the immigration context. Lynn Moore, who founded Impact Immigration and provides training and high-quality mental health evaluations for immigrants. And our own John Herrera, Program Director of Catholic Charities Immigration Legal Services, one of the incredible nonprofits we are benefiting here tonight. I also want to give special thanks to our Gala Planning Committee, many of whom work for the beneficiary nonprofits we're honoring tonight. They have continued to work on this event even while addressing new and evolving crises in our immigrant communities, especially the very fast and urgent response to the needs of Afghan families in Oregon's community, trying to help their family members flee Afghanistan and obtain legal status in the US. There is no special funding for support for the Afghan crisis right now, but these nonprofits are jumping on and doing everything they can regardless. So for that reason, and for the support of the Haitian migrants at the southern border, all of the immigrants waiting for comprehensive reform that may or may not ever come from Congress, it's so important that we're all here tonight to support these nonprofits, to provide as much funding as we can so they can continue to do the amazing work they do for our community. Thank you again so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the program we have for you.
Thank you, Anaya, for all of your work. We are so grateful. And as Anaya mentioned, tonight we gather to celebrate, but we also are here to support 7 amazing organizations that are at the front lines working on behalf of immigrants in our community. And so I want to mention these 7 organizations: Catholic Charities Immigration Legal Services, the Center for Nonprofit Legal Services, Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization, Immigration Counseling Service, Lutheran Family Services, SOAR Immigration Legal Services, and Victim Rights Law Center. These are the 7 organizations that are the beneficiaries of our fundraising this evening, and the work they are doing, as Anaya just said, has never been more critical and important. And we are going to get to hear from a couple of them throughout our time together. So here is a little message from our friends at Catholic Charities Immigration Legal Services. Welcome to them.
Hello, everyone. From Immigration Legal Services at Catholic Charities, we're here to say thank you for the great support you always do for our immigrants and refugees.
We're honored to be part of this group of great organizations working to support low-income immigrants and refugees across the state. This year, our office served over 1,800 clients, despite the significant barriers presented by the COVID-19 pandemic.
We are here together as an office, as a team, to just say to all of you from the bottom of our heart how much we appreciate your help and support. From Catholic Charities Immigration Legal Services, here is a big thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Catholic Charities Immigration Legal Services. We're so grateful, and so many people, yes, Samantha and Renee, people are shouting you out, as you can see in the chat. And so, yes, and Renee, I agree with you. John Herrera is going to be receiving a little award. I can't wait to welcome him to the stage in just a few minutes. Before we do that, we're going to play another round of our victory game. And this time it is sponsored by Tonkin Torp. So I told you we would play this again. And this time the prize is a $50 gift certificate to Amalfi's Restaurant. A $50 gift certificate to Amalfi's Restaurant. And as we mentioned, these 7 organizations that are the beneficiaries of our fundraising tonight, they work on behalf of immigrants all around Oregon. And so the question that we have for you to see who could win, and this time it will be the second person to get it correct. The second person in the chat will win the $50 gift certificate to Amalfi's. Here is the question. How many counties are served by the one immigration court in the state of Oregon? Put another way, how many counties are there in the state of Oregon that we work with clients in? Does anybody know? What is the answer for the $50 gift certificate? It's more than that. Terry! Wow, so fast. And Caroline! Oh, wow, that's it. Caroline gets it. 36 is correct. Okay, bonus points. We also work in Southwest Washington with in 4 or 5 more counties, so really over 40. Congratulations, you guys are all so fast. Yes, exactly, and very nicely done. Terry, very fast. Caroline, number 2. Okay, we'll be contacting you to receive your prize. One of the wonderful traditions that we have as we gather at this annual AILA Gala is to award and to get to acknowledge the winner of the American Immigration Council 5th grade essay contest. And this year, again, we are so excited to get to recognize a 5th grader who responded to the prompt, what does it mean to be a welcoming nation? And so I am very pleased to introduce 2 people that were very instrumental in making this competition happen. One is the owner of Meadowlark Immigration PC, which is a trauma-informed law firm working on humanitarian cases, removal defense, and on behalf of victims of crimes. They have an incredibly close-knit team where they balance hard work along with some laughter. And part of that is doing things like the 5th grade contest. And the other is her colleague who works there as well. Would you please welcome Allie Schneider and Melissa Stocking. Allie and Melissa, welcome. How are you? It is so great to see you.
We are good. Thank you so much for having us. It was such a great pleasure to get to organize the 5th grade writing contest again this year for the American Immigration Council and in the state of Oregon. Again, this year, the theme of our the contest was, what does it mean to be a welcoming nation? And Melissa will talk a little bit about what our participants look like this year.
So despite the ongoing pandemic and the challenges of distance learning, we had over 60 submissions from 5th graders throughout the state of Oregon to the 2021 Creative Writing Contest. We had 5 schools who submitted entries, have students placed in the top 10. And we will now get to hear the winning entry by Susanna, who is currently a 6th grader at Linus Pauly Middle School in Corvallis, Oregon. She has been studying in Spanish immersion schools, and she will read her poem, Reality.
Thank you, Allie. Thank you, Melissa. In my comfy, padded, protected world, I read National Geographic, and I see pictures of immigrants and refugees, fleeing, traveling, running, walking, souls of hope, sadness, pain, laughter, and light. We should really welcome them, not look down our noses in disgust. America thinks it is the greatest, but some of us know better. We are not really native to this land. Our ancestors traveled and traveled just to get here. We were immigrants too, people. We should love, not hate. Be open, not closed. Smile, don't frown. Create new opinions, shape a new future, open our eyes to reality. Cancel the picture show, the past, this is now. I will only be proud to be an American when we open our eyes to reality.
Woo, 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 woo. Very, very nicely done, Susanna. Congratulations. And thank you for sharing your words with us. Congrats on your well-deserved award. And to Allie and Melissa, thank you again for your coordination. In just a moment, we get to award the first of our 3 amazing awards this evening. We have 3 incredible awardees that we get to acknowledge. Before we head to our little awards ceremony, I want to remind people that we have a live auction that is underway. So make sure that you are logged in to our auction software, Octria, because people are already finding it. Like right now, it looks like the Seattle trip is going to James. Nicely done. So, and it looks like the weekend in Lincoln City is going to Diana. Yeah, so there are, people are bidding in our live auction. And if you want to be bidding, you want to make sure that you are logged in to Octria, our auction software. That is where you're going to be able to make a bid on all of our live auction items. They are all open right now. So while you are doing that, I have great news, because we were able to actually create a little awards ceremony. So I need to head over to our awards ceremony where we've got some of our honorees waiting. So stick with me and I'll just pop right over. Here we go. Hi, okay, I made it. We have our awards ceremony set up right here, and it is my great privilege now to introduce a person who is going to present our evening's first award, the Gerald H. Robinson Excellence in Advocacy Award. This is an award recognizing the accomplishments of an AILA Oregon chapter member who has demonstrated excellence as an advocate for the rights of immigrants. And to present this award, it is my great privilege to welcome a former Deputy U.S. District Attorney. He has been defending people in civil, criminal, and immigration courts for many years. He is a zealous advocate for his clients, and he is also a practicer of civil arbitrations for State Circuit Court. A graduate of the University of San Francisco, would you please put your virtual hands together for Terry Hunt Terry, welcome. Thank you.
Thank you and good evening. It's my distinct pleasure to have the opportunity to welcome my good friend Brian to come before you this evening to receive this well-deserved award. For those of you who may not be familiar with his work, Brian practices at the very difficult intersection of criminal and immigration law. His clients typically have been ground to a pulp by two separate, sometimes oppressive government legal systems, the criminal system and the immigration system. And one of Brian's most singular accomplishments is to get case law for us that's benefited my clients, and I'm sure some of yours, from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals in the cases of Sandoval and Maldonado. The Ninth Circuit decreed that delivery of controlled substance cases in Oregon are not aggravated felonies for purpose of immigration law, because Brian did what he does and what should inspire all of us to do, which is to show attention to detail and zealous and thorough preparation and zealous and uncompromising advocacy for our clients. So what Brian exemplifies for all of us is that when you get a case, you listen to your client, you use a fine-tooth comb and read every document relating to the case. And then you read with a fine-tooth comb every statute and every case decision that relates to your case. And from that, you will have at least a reasonable chance to save your client and to have the marvelous and unending satisfaction that you will enjoy the rest of your life of having made a huge difference in the life of another human being, as Brian has done for countless clients over his years of exemplary legal practice. And so with that, I'd like to welcome my good friend, Brian Patrick Conry.
Terry, somehow you put a smile on my face, so thank you. Thank you for all those kind words. I have to thank AILA. This is not anything I was expecting or feel like I deserve. I feel like I don't want to speak about myself, though. I want to speak about everybody. Why do we do this? Why do we represent the least of the least? The crimim, I'm talking about crimim, okay? These are people the government would destroy, take away their lives, separate them from their families, and they do it willfully over and over and over again. And so what do? We have to take it personal. We have to fight as hard as we possibly can, because otherwise there's no mercy. We have to be the people who bring the mercy to the client, if we can. The system doesn't do it. The system's kind of a default deportation system. Unless somehow you have legal issues you can present to a judge who has an open mind and is precise about the legalese. I love a rule of thumb I heard from a lawyer about Ninth Circuit appeals. Spend an hour for each minute you're before the judge. And you know, I tried that, and I wasn't sure that was long enough. Because some of these cases are entirely complex, and you have to give, again, everything you have. Because what do we do if we lose? And we look at the case and we say, oh, I should have argued this. I got to tell you, you don't want to do that. You want to put it all in front of the court that you possibly can and set it up, if it's the immigration judge for the BIA, if it's the BIA for the Ninth Circuit, and just hope and pray if your client's in custody, he can get out, and if he can't, he's got the wherewithal to wait. And it's a tough thing to wait. But we have to fight this. We have to fight the willful destruction of people's lives in the name of deportation, removal. which is really banishment, and sometimes it's death. You know, I've talked to experts from Mexico or about Mexico. People go there and they get killed. They get on the witness stand and they talk about that, and they're perfect. And we got to reach out to our experts. We got to reach out to each other to find out who those experts are. And, you know, if they don't pay you money, if your client's out of money, your Ninth Circuit can shoot for EJIA fees. People will send you EJIA fees. AILA lawyers will send you, the motion to get legal fees, if you can. And you know, if you lose, you may never understand why you lost, other than, even if you do everything, you can lose. And so often, I remind myself, I'd ask you guys to remind yourself, if you walk out, remember, if it's a loss, different judge, it was a win. That's the system that we live in. So pray for good judges, pray for good panels. I'm at Catholic Charities. It seems like I should be talking about praying to me, because that's what sometimes we need to do. We need to pray for more strength. We need to pray for perseverance. We need to pray to never stop. Because if we stop, if we don't read that next case, if we don't talk to that next witness, how can you face yourself the next day? How can you talk to Terry Hunt about how you screwed that case up because you didn't do something? He does exactly what he claims that I do. I hope I do these things. The thing is about this practice, the people entrust us with their lives. So take it personal. Don't be weak. Advocate. After you've given everything you can, give a little bit more. Talk to our friends with AILA who will help you all they can. I'll do the same. I'm sure Terry would do the same. So many have helped me, so many times. And I don't want to hog the microphone, so I'm going to ask you all to be as you are. Do as you do. Give it all. Don't step back. Step forward. Run into the fire. And once you run into the fire, be sure you have your weapons with you, because you're going to need them. And set them up and get them before you start the running into the fire, so that our clients can go home instead of to hell. Thank you.
Brian, congratulations and thank you for your inspiring words. And I want to just point out that you are receiving much accolades in the chat. And I agree. Yes. As Theo said, we need to persevere. And Brian, your words are very, very inspirational. So congratulations again and thank you. Yes, Nadia, exactly. So one way that there can be lots of opportunity for various costs to be paid, as Brian was mentioning, is to support tonight's fundraising effort. And we have a live auction that I may or may not have mentioned, I think I might have, that is underway right now. And I want to tell you how our live auction is going to work, and tell you that now would be a good time to be bidding in our live auction, because we are going to start selling some of those items very, very soon. The live auction, if you were with us last year, you will remember that the live auction is going to happen in groups. So multiple items will close simultaneously. Our first section of live auction items includes items 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if you want one of those items, then you want to be bidding, and by I mean 1, 2, and 3, not 1, 2, 3, and 4, just 1, 2, and 3. Items 1, 2, and 3 are in our first section of live auction items. So the Seattle family trip includes 4 tickets to the Mariners, 4 tickets to MoPop, which is the Museum of Pop Culture right at Seattle Center, just at the base of the Space Needle, and 1 night at the Courtyard Seattle downtown Pioneer Square. So you get to stay right near the Mariners Stadium. You get to be not far from MoPop. Item number 2 is a 3-night stay in beautiful Gearhart, Oregon. This accommodates up to 2 families. It's a large house. And if you would like to go to Gearhart for 3 nights, and I will tell you, it is a lovely place to go if you haven't been there recently. They now have a McMinimans in Gearhart, and a golf course, amongst other attractions. And item number 3 is the Newburgh Day Date. Hot air balloon ride for 2, wine tasting for 2 at the Chehalem tasting room. And the great thing is that you don't have to fly the hot air balloon, which is good because, you know, wine and flying a hot air balloon, not a good mix. So if you would like to do any one of those 3 things, now is the time to be bidding on items 1, 2, and 3. And Misty is currently the top bidder on that trip to Seattle. The beach house is also going to Misty. Wow. And Misty also has Newburgh. Okay, Misty, you are a very, very tricky bidder. Just a reminder that Misty may have an auto bid turned on. This is how you make the robots do your bidding for you. But if you would like to outbid, whoa, Frank just jumped in on that trip to Gearhart. So nicely done. You guys are figuring it out. While you are making your final bids, we get to hear from one more of our nonprofit beneficiaries. Here is the Center for Nonprofit Legal Services down in Southern Oregon. Check them out.
Hi, my name's Vanessa, and I love working at Legal Services because I see the impact we make in people's lives.
Hi, my name is Nadia, and I'm an immigration attorney at CNPLS. We represent survivors of crimes and domestic violence and collaborate with community partners to offer comprehensive trauma-informed advocacy. Our clients know that here they have a shoulder to lean on. At CNPLS, our clients belong.
Hello, my name is Sean Van Alstel, and I wanted to say it's extremely gratifying to help those who otherwise would not be able to afford legal assistance. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Laura Gutierrez, and I'm an immigration attorney with CNPLS. Thank you so much for the support that you give us. I'm honored to work here because we are trauma-informed, client-centered immigration attorneys, but that's not all we do. We also support our community during disasters such as the Alameda fire and during the COVID-19 outbreak. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Center for Nonprofit Legal Services. We are so grateful for all the work that you do. Congratulations. Yes. Yay. And Samantha, agreed. And I hope that people are joining us from all over the state. And Brian, I just want to point out again, congratulations. And I see that you have joined us in the chat as well. I now get to go back to our awards ceremony to introduce the next awardee this evening. And this is the recipient of the Richard M. Ginsburg Outstanding Leadership for Immigrant Rights Award, recognizing an outstanding leader and advocacy on behalf of the immigrant community in Oregon. And so I'm going to jump back over to welcome someone. So give me 1 second. Bear with me. I made it. So now I get to present. I get to welcome a person to present our second award of the evening. This is the Richard M. Ginsburg Outstanding Leadership for Immigrant Rights Award. And I get to welcome a person who is a former chair of the Oregon chapter of the American Immigrant Lawyers Association, AILA. She is also a mentor for those seeking temporary protected status and expedited removal issues, and is a 2019 past recipient of the Gerald H. Robinson Excellence in Immigration Advocacy Award. She is coming to us virtually, and I hope you are there. Would you please put your hands together for Nicole Nelson. Nicole, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. Good evening, everyone. My name is Nicole Nelson. I am honored to be presenting the Richard M. Ginsburg Outstanding Leadership for Immigrant Rights Award this year. The award recognizes outstanding leadership and advocacy on behalf of the immigrant community in Oregon. It is named after our beloved colleague, Richard Ginsburg, who was a mentor and leader for many of us and set a very high standard for me personally to strive towards in my career as an immigration lawyer. In my mind, it could not be more fitting to be able to present this award to this year's honoree, Dr. Lynn Moore. It was Dick Ginsburg himself that first told me about Dr. Moore back in 2005. Like many of us practicing immigration law, we were all struggling to find mental health professionals who understood immigration and the need for a forensic psychological evaluation in so many of our cases. Dick told me that Dr. Moore was doing exactly this type of evaluation and that she spoke Spanish. Amazing. Since I met Dr. Moore in 2005, she has worked with my clients on countless cases, writing forensic evaluations and testifying in court. Looking back, I can't think of a case that we've worked on together that was not successful in the end. Sometimes the end took longer to get to, but we were successful in the end. What truly still amazes me is what Dr. Moore will learn during her meetings with my clients that I didn't know. Dr. Moore is able to put my clients so at ease in what is for most of them the very first time seeing a psychologist, that my clients are able to share with her their struggles with trauma, depression, and the abuse they suffered, often for the very first time. Not only does the evaluation help with their immigration case, but for many of my clients, it becomes the first step in their healing process, and they have often sought out therapy to continue that healing. Dr. Moore's resume has made it easy for USCIS and the Immigration Court to accept her expert findings and opinions. Dr. Moore has a PhD in psychology from Boston University, has taught at Harvard Medical School and Erlangen University in Germany, and has been practicing here in Oregon for over 20 years. Dr. Moore's experience living in other countries and being the daughter of a refugee from World War II gives her a unique understanding of our clients. Dr. Moore not only assisted my clients with their immigration cases, she's also trained our staff in how to handle vicarious trauma. About 4 years ago, Dr. Moore and I had lunch and she told me about her idea for starting a nonprofit that would be able to offer psychological evaluations for low-income immigrants. Before I knew it, Dr. Moore had established the Immigration Psychology Access Team, or IMPACT, and was training licensed mental health professionals in the field of immigration psychology. IMPACT officially launched 3 years ago and has been providing this much needed assistance to the immigrant community here ever since. I could not be more honored to present this year's Richard M. Ginsburg Outstanding Leadership for Immigrant Rights Award to Dr. Lynn Moore.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Thank you for your introduction. I'm really grateful to AILA to receive this award today, and in particular because it is in Richard Ginsburg's memory. Let me tell you why. As you know, Richard Ginsburg provided assistance to almost every immigration attorney who asked for help. In my case, he provided help even though I didn't ask. Here's what happened. In 2005, Richard Ginsburg found me and contacted me and showed up in my office eventually and asked about conducting psychological evaluations for immigrants and refugees. When I told him that I had never done these before, he laughed, he smiled, he said, "No problem, we'll teach you." Not only did Richard Ginsburg start me off, but many of you have been my mentors along the way. With your collaboration, I developed high-quality psychological evaluations for immigrants and refugees in our community. I have personally done more than 400 of these evaluations, and over 98% of those were part of successful legal cases. So in order to continue the vision of one psychologist's mission, I have trained dozens of clinicians over the years. I founded our nonprofit, IMPACT, Immigration Psychology Access Team, so that we could provide affordable evaluations to more people. We have a dedicated team of licensed mental health professionals, and we train groups of professionals every year, some of whom then go on to join our team. Our mission is to evaluate all immigrants and refugees regardless of their ability to pay. This year, we also started a national training program to train others across the country so they can do these evaluations in their states. Our team combined here in Oregon has conducted likely over 1,000 evaluations. We were able to pivot quickly when the COVID pandemic precluded in-person evaluations, which we used to do. So we developed state-of-the-art assessments that we could do virtually. This is complex and complicated. However, it allowed us to reach even more under-resourced immigrants and refugees, particularly in rural areas in Oregon and beyond. Richard Ginsburg was the catalyst for this. Personally, this work is very meaningful to me. I am the daughter of a refugee. My mother was a refugee during World War II and escaped Nazi Germany with her parents. Her sister, her older sister, had come here a couple years before as an unaccompanied minor. When my mother and her parents attempted to enter the United States in 1940, they were turned away. They ended up in Mexico City, and after some time were then reunited as a family in the US. So I grew up hearing their stories of immigration hardship, trauma, and persecution. Every immigrant or refugee has the right to tell their story. These are the stories that you hear and we hear. A Chinese journalist who tells his story of persecution for the first time and describes his depression as losing his smile. Or a young adult from Southeast Asia who is the victim of human trafficking, has a trauma-informed evaluation with an interpreter and tells her story, also for the first time. A case just like that was approved last month. Or an Indigenous unaccompanied minor from Central America who's the victim of gang violence, has a psychological evaluation by Impact and gets a referral for treatment. Impact evaluations are not only humane and therapeutic, but they also provide the necessary psychological data for the legal applications that you all submit. They get to tell their story. We know that including a high-quality psychological evaluation greatly increases the chances of their cases being approved. My dream is that every immigrant and refugee, regardless of ability to pay, can have a high-quality psychological evaluation during which they can tell their story of trauma and suffering to a qualified mental health professional. This way, we can document the human story, and you can represent these individuals more successfully. More importantly, families can heal, and they can remain together and be safe and thrive in their communities. This is the mission of Impact. I am delighted and grateful to accept this award on behalf of all refugees and immigrants, and especially on behalf of the Impact staff and team. No one of us does this work alone. I very much appreciate your support and collaboration over the years and this recognition today. Thank you so much.
Dr. Moore, thank you. Congratulations. What a well-deserved award, and to you and everyone at Impact. And I want you to see that so many people are sending you their congratulations and accolades for all of your work. So thank you, thank you, thank you. We're all just very, very grateful that you continue to do that work. So congrats. Yes, and heartfelt speech, yes, and yes, many applauses, exactly. As Arnav is saying, Nadia, yes, congratulations. Okay, so we do have to keep going, and as I mentioned earlier, it is time for the first round of our live auction. So if you are hoping that one of these first 3 live auction items are going to be yours, well, now is the time to make sure that your thumbs are feeling very, very limber, because Misty really thinks that she's going to that Mariners game because she's in the lead. And Frank really thinks he's going to Gearhart. Frank, I wish you the best, but I also want to raise funds for the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. And Brian is currently in the lead on the Newburgh Day date. So if you want one of those 3 items, you now have 2 minutes to go. This is your last chance to make a bid on any one of those 3 live auction items. So Misty, you're doing very, very well on that Seattle family trip. Nicely done. And Frank, you're still in the lead on the Gearhart trip. You have about 1 minute and 45 seconds to go. Now's your time to make a bid. Newburgh is going to be having Brian visit. Newburgh is going to be welcoming Brian. That's what's going to be happening. You've got about 1 minute and 30 seconds. Diana, I know the time goes fast, which means that if anybody wants to make a bid, you got to do it right now. Misty, you're in the lead. Still going to the Mariners and Mopop. That's yours. Frank, you're going to Gearhart, but you only have 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. Anybody who wants to make a bid, now is your chance. Be in Octria. Make sure that you are bidding quickly with your thumbs. Brian, you're doing great on Newburgh. Frank, sitting pretty with Gearhart. And it looks like Misty's going, yep, I'm going to Seattle, but there is 1 minute to go. This is your last chance to make a bid on items 1, 2, and 3. If you'd like that Seattle, oh, looks like Frank has his auto bid turned on. Somebody is trying to find the top of Frank's bid, but Frank has the computer bidding on his behalf. If you set a maximum bid, then you are more likely to be in the lead at the end. Now you've only got 45 seconds to go. Misty, you're doing great with that trip to Seattle. Frank, still got Gearhart all locked up. Brian, you're doing very, very nice with that Newburgh Day date. Nicely done. And now you've only got 45 seconds remaining. Now is the time. Make sure that you are in Octria on a second device or on this device, actually any device. It doesn't really matter. Just log in and make a bid. You've got 30 seconds to go. Misty, nicely done on that trip to Seattle. Frank's got the computers bidding for him because he's up at $1,000. Oh, Kim jumps in on the Newburgh Day date. Brian, I'm so sorry. You're going to have to come back in these 20 seconds. Kim's now in the lead on that day in Newburgh. Nicely done. And now you only have about 15 seconds to go. Misty's in the lead. Frank's in the lead. Kim's in the lead. Brian, if you want to come back, now's your chance to do it. You've only got about 10 seconds remaining. Item number 1, the Seattle family trip. You're going to Mopop or the Mariners. Item number 2, this beautiful house in Gearhart. The sand dollars are not guaranteed. I just want to say that. We can't make that guarantee. But the house with the rainbow in Gearhart, okay, the rainbow is also not guaranteed. You have 8 seconds to go. The Newburgh Day date. This is going to be you not driving a balloon while you have some wine. Nicely done. I got to count you down. All right, Misty, you're doing great. You've got 7 seconds remaining. Frank, you're doing great. You've got 6 seconds to go. Kim, still in the lead on the balloon and the wine tasting. Now you've got 5, 4. Oh, Brian Connery! Brian, congratulations! Comes in with 4 seconds to go on the Gearhart Beach House. Brian, nicely done. Okay, Frank, I'm going to give you about the longest 3 seconds of your life. If you want to make one more bid, Brian's trying to do strategery at the very last second, which I'm guessing he spent, some time because he does his homework, as we heard earlier, making these bids. Misty, oh, Frank comes back. Brian and Frank both wanting to go to Gearhart. And now Newburgh's going to Kim. And it looks like Misty's still in the lead on the trip to Frank. Oh, wow. Frank set an auto bid. Brian's trying to find the top of that auto bid. And it looks like you've only got 2 seconds to go. Is it a very long 2 seconds? Well, yes, because I'm trying to let Frank and Brian figure out what kind of conversation they want to have right here in the auction. And now we've got Misty, and you're doing great on the trip to Seattle. Kim, you're doing great on Newburgh. Okay, Frank and Brian, you got to make your last bids right now because I got to count this thing down. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. I'm going to give you an extra second back. That's what's going to happen. But I'm really going to count it down. And at the end, it's going to be, oh, Brian comes back. Uh-oh, Brian's in the lead. Frank, okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. And sold! Nicely done. Oh, Frank! Frank comes back at the last second. Amazing. Frank and Brian, thank you so much. Frank must have pushed the button, as I said, sold. Brian, we are so grateful for your support, and also, again, congratulations on your well-deserved award. Don't worry, because we have more live auction items coming up in just a moment. But I do have to say that we have sold 86 raffle tickets, which means that the prize for the 50/50 is currently $1,075. And if you want to purchase a raffle ticket, then right now is a time to do it, because we're going to close our 50/50 raffle sales not too long from now. The prize is over $1,000. It's actually over $1,100 now. Make sure you purchase a 50/50 raffle ticket. They're only $25 each. You could win. And don't forget that our next round of live auction items includes items 4, 5, and 6, and 7. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So if you would like the Applegate Wine Trail, yes, please, that looks good. Or a scenic Idaho retreat, also very, very nice. Or the Lake Cruise and Greek dinner. You get to cruise around Lake Oswego and have a Greek dinner, or the Domaine Serene Wine Cave experience. Oh, take me to Domaine Serene. That sounds just fine. All of those are coming up in just a moment. While you are making some bids on those, I now get to welcome our third awardee this evening, and it is my great privilege to get to welcome somebody. I do have to hop back over to our award ceremony, so momentarily stick with us. One moment. I've made it back to our awards, and it's now my great privilege to get to introduce someone who will be presenting our Oregon Immigrant Achievement Award. This award recognizes and celebrates the accomplishments of an immigrant who has made a significant and lasting contribution to the Oregon community. And to present this award this evening, it is my privilege to welcome a person who, until recently, has been an immigrant attorney, but just in the last couple of weeks, she has taken on a number of firsts. She has become the first ethnic Lao judge in the entire nation, the first refugee to become a judge in the state of Oregon, where she is now a Multnomah County Court judge. She says that her greatest joy is being a mom to her 3 children and successfully completing that task, even amongst all of her other amazing accomplishments. Would you please put your hands together for the Honorable Shanpone Sinlapasai, Judge Sinlapasai.
Hi everyone. It's my great honor and blessing to be here to talk about one of my dearest and favorite people in the world. This is more of a love letter to John Herrera. John and I have known each other for over 2 decades. Did many of you know that he started out with me at Catholic Charities? John is a person who's committed to fighting for everyone. He came to America as an asylee, and he won his case. Married his wife, had 2 beautiful kids, Sandra and the children. This is about you too. John did not stop fighting for himself, his family, but it's about community. John and I would show up early in the morning. No job was too big, no job was too small. In fighting cases for VAWAs, domestic violence survivors, sexual assault victims, trafficking victims, he and I also picked up poop. Because at Catholic Charities, we were in the old building, and the homeless community, the houseless community, also made that place home. He never complained, he worked hard. He always understood why we were there and why we were giving back. It was so important. Fast forward, now he is directing Catholic Charities' immigration legal program with some amazing human beings like Sarah Purse and everyone else. He took this job on because of his love for community. He saw a vision, and it was about giving back in a way that no one else could. When I asked him to do Refugee Adjustment Day 15 times in a row, did he say no? No, he didn't. Instead, he offered the building full phone, allowing law enforcement to roam, allowing social services, FBI, everyone else to protect our community in some of the most vulnerable times. He did it with heart and commitment. When the travel ban occurred and children were separated, he thought about solutions. He thought about giving back. He collected food. He worked with all the other social service providers, and he brought AILA along. His heart, his soul, his commitment is about family, keeping families together, protecting the most vulnerable, and doing with so much love, smile, and compassion. I want you all to help me greet and give a big virtual hug to my dear friend, John Herrera. Love you, buddy.
Wow. Your Honor, Judge Silan Pasaya. I'm speechless. For those of you who know me, I can talk. I do it better in Spanish, but I'll try to do it in English today one more time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I feel honored to be here today receiving this award, and I'm not doing it for me. Honestly, I feel funny being the recipient of this big award for an immigrant who has made a difference in Oregon immigrant community, Oregonians that have been impacted. I think I've been impacted by your love and your patience with me over these years. AILA, thank you. You are here because of you. And we're here because the donors that make this possible. Thank you for making this achievement a real successful for the communities. I'm receiving these in the name of the hundreds of thousands of immigrants and refugees that are here today, building every single moment this amazing country called the Great America, the United States of America. We're here today defending and continue defending the humanity for those who try to flee and find refuge in the United States of America. Every single day we're facing crisis. Every single day we have one new one. Today we call it Afghan crisis. Yesterday was the Haitian crisis, and the day before, you name it, Honduras, Nicaragua, Central America, my own beloved Colombia, Venezuela, everywhere in the world where refugees are at stake and putting their life at risk. For one reason, they want a better life and a safe life for their own families. That's what I did 20 years ago almost, when I fled my beloved Colombia, and I'm here because the love of someone. And that organization hold me in this amazing place called Catholic Charities. And I'm working here with the privilege of being the director of this program, but also with the love of so many colleagues and bosses, but doing a job for humanity, for keeping the families, these families that are desperate to be united and reunited every single day. Thank you. Thank you all for enjoying every day in court and at immigration hearings, our immigration interviews. Thank you for meeting with those victims, meeting with those asylum seekers, meeting with every refugee trying to reunite with the families that were left behind 20 years plus in their own countries. Thank you for making this country a country where we can have judges like my dear friend Champon, being in the bench in another of her great success, which is providing justice for all. Before was trying to achieve the families together, and she successfully did it. Today, this award, I receive it with my heart and with my humble words to say thank you. I don't think I deserve it, but I'll take it in the name of so many people that are there working tireless, working to keep their families and to keep those that are out there now in Afghanistan trying to flee that horrendous situation. For those who are under the bridge in the Texas, being kicked out because they can't join their families or even themselves to be in this safe country. Thank you all for fighting for humanity. You, the attorneys of AILA, had a great job, but I have to continue doing it daily, like our friends, my predecessor in the award, Brian, who is an amazing human being, fighting and fighting. So I'm saying the same to you. Don't stop fighting. We have hope. The United States of America has been built, and the foundation of this nation is immigrant. So we're here. We're not here to take anything. We're here to build and to give. And that's what we do every day in the fields, cleaning and providing for families. Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for the donors. Thank you for every single dollar that you put into this event, because it's the only way that we can keep the doors of our organizations open. The nonprofits receiving some proceeds from this gala is the only way that our doors continue to be open to help those in need. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Love you, God bless you.
Gracias, 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 John, for all of your work. So well deserved. And as you can see, people are saying, "Te lo mereces, eres un héroe." Thank you for your incredible work, and people are shouting you out, of course, in the chat. So very, very nicely done. To all three of our incredible award recipients, what a tremendous group to be celebrating tonight. Speaking of amazing groups, we have an amazing group of items that I have to sell to you right now. So if you would like one of our next 3 live auction items, well, we've got to keep going because, there's a few more things to do. I have a couple more important people to introduce to you. So I'm going to do this next group very, very quickly because now you all see how it works. And no more extra last 3 seconds, Frank and Brian, I'm looking at you. Because if you want something, well, you got to go for it because we're going to count this down and we're going to find out who gets to have these 4 amazing things. So again, if you want the Applegate Wine Trail, this is tastings for a whole bunch, plus an overnight. If you'd like to go to Oregon wine country and have a wonderful time, item number 4 is currently going to Richard. And the Idaho Scenic Retreat, Misty, oh my goodness, it's so beautiful. If you'd like to go to this beautiful place, well, Misty is currently not letting that happen for you. The Lake Cruise and Greek Dinner. Teresa is currently, or Teresa, however you like to say it, Teresa, please let me know, is currently the lead bidder and going to Lake Oswego to have an amazing Greek dinner and boat cruise, and the Domaine Serene Wine Cave Experience, Brian, currently in the lead. So here we go. If you want one of these items, you have 2 minutes to go. Make your final bids right now. Richard, you've got the wine trail. Misty, you're going to Idaho. The Greek dinner and cruise is going for Teresa. And Brian's going to be in the cave with the wine. Nicely done, Brian. You've got about 1 minute and 45 seconds to go right now. Whoa, Trail just jumped in on that Applegate wine trail. Nicely done, Trail. And now, the Misty is still sitting pretty in Idaho. The Greek and cruise is going to Teresa. And Brian is still going to be in the cave with the wine. Remember, if you make a maximum bid, then the robots will bid for you. Exactly. Lava Hot Springs. Diana, I hear what you're saying. You've only got 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. Make your bids. Trail, you're in the lead. Misty, you're doing great. Teresa, nicely done. Brian, still in the lead. And remember, you're going to, yes, the auto bid I mentioned. Use the auto bid because that's really going to help you. Now you've got 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining. And it looks like Misty is hoping that no one is going to outbid her. Whoa, Trail must have a maximum bid set. yet because somebody just tried to outbid Trell, but staying in the lead on that wine trail package. Nicely done. Misty thinking, oh my gosh, going to Idaho for such an amazing opportunity. Great job. Teresa still doing the boat cruise. Brian still going to be in the wine with the cave. With the wine in the cave at Domain Serene. Nicely done. You've got 1 minute to go. Make your final bids. Remember, you want to be in Octria bidding right now, and you are supporting, as John and Dr. Moore and Brian said, there's so much work to support. So not only can you buy one of these amazing things in the next 45 seconds because you don't have much time, but you can also be supporting. Oh, Frank, no, I'm sorry, Frank, you just got outbid. Brian came back on that Domain Serene. Frank was trying to get in, but you only got 30 seconds to go. Trell wants to be doing the Applegate Wine Trail. Nicely done. And now it looks like Misty. Uh-oh, looks like Frank just jumped back in the lead on that Domain Serene Wine Cave experience. I'm so sorry. Frank's in the lead now. And Kim just got in on that lake cruise and Greek dinner. Nicely done. Frank's now in the lead on Domain Serene. And Trell. Oh, Trell, nicely done. Still sitting at the top on that Applegate Wine Trail. You've got 20 seconds to go. Misty, you're doing great. Just sitting there hoping no one's going to notice because they're all preoccupied. Frank set a top bid. Now, people are trying to find the top of that bid, but Frank is still sitting pretty in the cave with the wine. Kim, you're doing nice on that cruise around the lake with the Greek dinner. Misty, still just hoping that nobody notices. Trell is going to the Applegate Wine Trail. You've got 20 seconds to go. This is your last chance to make a bid. You still have time to make one last bid on these 4 items. All right, and Brian comes back on the Domain Serene. Frank, I'm so sorry. Brian and Frank, I can see what's going to happen. Okay, we're going to have to happen. It's going to be like a repeat of last time. You've got 10 seconds to go. Just a different Brian, that's all. You've got 10 seconds to go. Brian, you're doing great. Kim, you've got 9 seconds remaining. Misty, nicely done. 8 seconds to go. Trell, in the lead on the wine trail. Nicely done. Brian's in the lead. You've got 6 seconds to go. Kim, nicely done. Misty, yes, you're still there. You've got 5 seconds. Richard! Oh no! Richard jumps in. Trell, I'm so sorry. You still have 4 seconds. You got to come back and make one more bid. Trell, don't go too far. Richard's in the lead on the Applegate Wine Trail. Kim's sitting pretty. Frank, back in the lead on Domain Serene. You've got 3 seconds to go. This is your last chance to make one more bid. And now you've got 2 seconds remaining. 1 and sold. Final chance. Oh, Trell at the last moment drops the final bid. Nicely done. Woo! On that Applegate Wine Trail. Trell, congratulations. To the Idaho Scenic Retreat, Misty, oh my goodness, you are so fortunate. And Kim, nice on the lake cruise and Greek dinner. I love it. And the Domain Serene Wine Cave experience. Frank, congratulations. And we're just going to need to find another person named Brian to bid against Frank in our next round of live auction items because that seems to be the theme. Let me just say that our next round of live auction items includes 8, 9, 10, and there are the 3 more amazing items, including the weekend in Lincoln City that, well, it looks like that, amazing. The romantic escape to Puget Sound. I can see that some of you are finding that. And the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. So Samantha, if you want to be the person, Samantha, outbidding Frank in our next round, just, no, hey, Frank, it's for a good cause, okay? So mortgage up because you are doing something so valuable. And we now get to hear from one more of our partner organizations, Immigration Counseling Service. And before we hear from them, this is your last chance. Very, very soon. You need to purchase a 50/50 raffle ticket like immediately if you would like to have the opportunity to be the winner of our 50/50 raffle. So while you are doing that, here is Immigration Counseling Service.
It's been an amazing year of meeting people at their time of circumstance, doing work in a pandemic and wildfires, and the ever-changing immigration laws has made this work so challenging. So thank you. We're very excited about the Immigrant Legal Relief Fund that has raised $50,000 in the last year and distributed to our clients in the form of consults and filing fees. And we're also able to take care of clients' aging receivables up to about $100,000 to keep them in pursuit of their naturalization dream.
Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, we have adapted our work and have began offering remote legal services, allowing greater access to underserved areas across the state to meet the needs of the communities we serve.
Thank you for your support and look forward to your continued engagement.
From the Hood River office, we thank you for your continued support that has allowed us to serve the rural communities in Oregon.
Thank you so much, Immigration Counseling Service, for all of your work. We're so grateful to have you here with us. As I mentioned just before we heard from them, this is really your last chance to purchase a raffle ticket. The prize for the 50/50 raffle is over $1,100. So if you would like to purchase a final raffle ticket, well, you got to do it like really, really soon. Purchase a raffle ticket right now. While you are doing that, I just want to remind everyone that our third and final group of live auction items will be coming up moments from now. That includes the 2-night stay at the Lincoln Lighthouse, which is not really a lighthouse, but it's called that. And it sleeps up to 10 people. So an opportunity to take a whole group or go by yourself and sleep in a different bed every night. It'll be great. Item number 9 is the Romantic Escape to Puget Sound, which is a scenic tour of Puget Sound and the San Juan Islands in a float plane. And I can tell you, I have had the opportunity to fly over the San Juans in a small plane. It is truly one of the most incredible experiences. You're going to have dinner at the Pink Door in Seattle, stay at the Lot Hotel. And then item number 10 is the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. You get to go to the Country Willow B&B, have amazing food, like the Wharf Fresh Seafood Market, Eatery and Agave Restaurant, wine tasting for 6 at South Stage Cellars. Really, really fun stuff. So that group of live auction items will be coming up. But before we get there, I get to introduce one more person this evening. And, you know, it was Dr. Moore, when you were speaking earlier, I was really thinking about getting to introduce this person because you said that every immigrant gets to tell their story. And I met recently with a truly remarkable person, an immigrant born in Mexico. He came to this country and became a wildland firefighter in Oregon. He's a single dad to 2 children who are under the age of 10. And somehow he finds time to coach soccer, volunteer with Head Start, and to share his story with me and with all of us. So here is Salvador Cortes Giron. Salvador, we're so grateful.
Thank you, Ian. Hello, everybody. My name is Salvador Cortes Giron. Was born in Mexico, and here I am. Grew up in Uruapan with my father and my brother. My mom left us when we were little, so I didn't remember her very much. Growing up, it was hard to provide for ourselves, or my father to provide for us. So at a very young age, I started to look for work, but not that much opportunity. When I turned 16, I started thinking about looking for a better place to make life. So I left my town when I was 17, and I was in between a battle. Well, now that I remember, now that I think about it, in a battle between cartels, like who was gonna deliver us for the money. Yeah, so what I mean, I made it, I mean like I crossed into the United States, like not made it, like I'm good to go. He left us in the desert, and we didn't know where to go. We started walking towards the road. We went and stayed under a bridge. Like some of the people were like starting to feel hunger and not feel very well, so they decided to go on the road and try to ask for a ride and like hitchhike. So a van stopped and put us in the van, and then I just followed the group because I didn't know. I was too young to be like, oh. So while we were in there, there was high speed. We were chased by immigration, and the guy stopped on a field, the driver, and he said just to run and to not look back, and that's what we did. Decided that because I was too young, like not to age, like not over 18, I believe, that I was gonna testify. Me and another two guys was gonna testify against the driver.
Salvador, so I know that the next part of your story is that you were released from detention on parole, and that you worked in the fields and eventually came to Oregon, where, as I mentioned, you became a wildland firefighter for 12 years, and that you met your now ex-wife and had your 2 children, but that unfortunately Salvador's marriage ended due in part to his ex-wife's alcoholism, and he didn't know how to provide safety for his children. And this is when the Center for Nonprofit Legal Services really became part of Salvador's story. So I'm going to turn it back over to Salvador to tell us the next part of what happened.
I went to Rock Community College and took fire science because I wanted to become a city firefighter. But then I was turned down because of my legal status. I even took my EMT class. But I couldn't. I didn't know how to go to court against her because I don't know. I'm not well educated to go in. And she had the resources. Her family's here, so she had a lot of help, a lot of support. And I became homeless because I had to leave my house. And then while I was living at a park, I met a lot of people, and some of them were like, "Oh, you should go to the what they call the nonprofit." So I submitted it, and then a few weeks later, I got a call from Ray Cherba. He's a lawyer here, family law. He decided to become my lawyer. I was threatened a lot by my ex-wife and her family by calling immigration because they knew my status, saying that if I didn't stop, they were going to just call immigration. And it was horrible to be like, okay, well, okay, fine, I'll stop. I've met Nadia. She's been great. And Sean. Yes, first with family law, getting my children in my custody, which they're in my custody now. They live with me. And yeah, and Nadia with immigration, which is great because now because of them, I'm able to work. I have I became a resident because of the help that they provided. So I feel very I'm thankful for them. So for people that they have donated, thank you, and for the ones that are going to or want to, it's a lot of help for people that in need. Being immigrant illegally here, like nobody wants to really help you, and that they changed my life. So I have an opportunity here to do better for myself and my children. So and I know that they keep on helping people. It changed lives for people like myself. So thank you.
Salvador, thank you for sharing your story, for all of your amazing work, for all the ways that you've taken care of our community as a firefighter, and in so many other ways that you are continuing to take care of the community. We're so grateful. And I just want to say that this is why we're here. You know, what Salvador just said is a huge part of the work that the Oregon Immigrant Foundation does to make sure that lives all over our state, all over our region, are transformed through the legal work that so many of you are part of. And so this is when I get to ask you if you could make a generous contribution to support the work of the Oregon Immigrant Foundation tonight. If you are able to support with any amount, we would be so, so grateful. And we are hoping to raise $50,000 this evening, and our sponsors have already helped us to be more than halfway there with some generosity. So to Gretel, thank you, and Henry, thank you, to Alan, thank you, and our sponsors, their gifts have taken us well over the halfway mark. So if you're able to help us with any kind of gift, but maybe you would consider, $2,500 or $1,000 or $500 or $250 or $100. If you would consider any of those amounts or any other amount, maybe you want to do $20,000. That would be fine. Go to Octria right now and you can make a contribution to help fill up our community, to help people like Salvador. And so we would be so, so grateful. If you could help with $2,500, that would cover the cost. Diana, thank you. Diana, thank you, thank you. $2,500 covers the cost of a Citizenship Day event. That counsels 50 individuals in one day to prepare and submit their citizenship application. Or $1,000 allows legal representation for a survivor of human trafficking who could otherwise perhaps not afford attorney fees. If you could help us with $500, that creates a digital design and print of critical immigration Know Your Right materials. That could reach 5,000 people as we pass out important information in all kinds of areas. Frank, oh my gosh, Frank Garcia, thank you, thank you, thank you for your incredible support. And I can see, we're so grateful. $250 or $100 or $50, every amount would be so, so graciously received. And then we can be sure that every single immigrant who is here in Oregon, is receiving support through these 7 organizations that we are supporting this evening. These 7 amazing organizations that are really on the front line. Brian talked about this system that is so hard on people. And all of you are the people that stand there on behalf of immigrants and say, no, we're going to stand up and represent against that system that can be really, really hard on people. And so your generosity of any amount tonight would be so graciously received. And thank you. Oh, John, thank you, John. We're so grateful for all of the ways that you have supported tonight. So many ways. And we're so very, very grateful. Thank you to John Mirandas, to Frank, Deanna, to our sponsors, to everyone who is here with us this evening. And if you're considering making a gift of any amount, well, now's a good time to do it. Remember that you just have to go to charityauction.bid /Oregon AILA 21, and you can make a contribution right here in our thermometer. We are going to, as you are doing that, you can continue to do that. We would be so grateful, in fact, if you would. But I have to sell the final 3 live auction items because I know that some people are really hoping that those are going to be theirs. So don't stop with the with making contributions to the to our paddle raise. Oh! I'm supposed to do one other thing. Oh no, okay, sorry. I'm so excited because I'm looking at all the things at once. Sorry. Okay, so I am going to sell our final round of live auction items. Here we go. If you would like the beach trip in Lincoln City, or which Brian, nicely done, currently the top bidder, or the romantic escape to the Puget Sound, the float plane over the San Juans, that is currently going to the other Brian. I see all the Brians are coming back. That's wonderful. And also to Teresa, who is doing the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. Now, Frank, both of your Brians that you were bidding against are currently here in this auction, in this section. I'm just wanting to point that out. Okay, so Brian, except Richard just jumped in. So here we go. If you want one of our last 3 live auction items, you have 2 minutes to go. The last 2 minutes. And Holly just jumped in on that beach trip in Lincoln City. Nicely done, Holly. And now, Richard, you're in the lead on that romantic escape to the Puget Sound. Great job. And it looks like the Oregon Wine and Dine is currently going to Teresa. Nicely done. Or Teresa, as the case may be. So you've only got about 1 minute and 30 seconds to go. 1 minute and 30 seconds, because we have to keep going to the end of this event. Holly, you're in the lead. Nicely done. Brian, I know, right? Frank is egging on both Brians. I see Frank already purchased something, and now he's saying it's up to the Brians to go. Brian Connery comes back. He's currently in the lead on item number 8. That trip to Lincoln City. Nicely done. You've got 1 minute to go. Brian Garrett is in the lead on the romantic Puget Sound getaway. Teresa, you're in the lead on the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. You've only got 45 seconds to go. Now is the time to bid very, very quickly. Brian's in the lead. Brian's in the lead. Teresa's in the lead. Holly, if you want to come back, you got to come back in the next 45 seconds. Last chance to make a bid. The weekend trip in Lincoln City is going to Brian Connery. The escape to Puget Sound is going to Brian Garrett. Looks like Deanna just came back. I'm sorry, Brian, you are no longer the top bidder, but don't worry. You've got 30 seconds to go. Deanna's in the lead. Now you've only got about 25 seconds remaining. Teresa is hoping that no one's going to notice that she's running away with that Oregon Wine and Dine. And now you've only got about 20 seconds remaining. Nicely done. Brian Connery back in the lead on that trip to Lincoln City. And now it looks like if you got to come, you've only got 15 seconds. Brian Garrett hoping that everybody's going to be focused on Brian Connery. And now it looks like you've only got about 12 seconds to go. Richard jumps in on that romantic escape to the Puget Sound. Oh, I'm so sorry. The Bryans are definitely finding other people who are interested. And now you've only got about 10 seconds to go. Richard's in the lead. Brian Connery's back in the lead on Lincoln City. Nicely done. Teresa, you're still doing the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. Remember, if you set a maximum bid, then in the last moments, no one can outbid you. You've only got about 9 seconds to go. This is your last chance. You've got 8. Brian's in the lead on Lincoln City. And it looks like Richard's currently in the lead on Escape to Puget Sound. You've got 7 seconds remaining. Teresa's doing the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. Now you've only got 6 seconds to go. Brian, you're doing great. Richard, nicely done. 5 to go. Teresa, we're going to count it down. 4, 3, make your final bids. 2, 1, and sold! Nicely done. Woo! The Lincoln City trip, Brian Connery, to our incredible honoree. Nicely done. Richard Burkle comes in with the romantic escape to the Puget Sound. Congratulations. And Teresa, the Southern Oregon Wine and Dine. Impressive. Congratulations to all of you who helped in our live auction. Thank you very much. And I do have I have to say that we want to give a huge special thank you to Pavilion Construction and Brian and Jen Garretts for all of your support of this auction, including that Southern Oregon Wine and Dine, and Brian for being such a very generous bidder. And I just want to say, Brian, your bids helped us to get a bunch of money from other people. So we really appreciate you, Brian, being that person to help others spend a little bit more and to help with all of our fundraising this evening. I want to thank Mark Jawade, and I do have to say, Mark Jawade is our director this evening. You may have heard laughter that you are wondering, how is that laughter coming? Well, that's Mark. And Mark, thank you so much for your generous gift in our thermometer. We're so grateful. I know Mark's like, don't make me show the thermometer right now. But we really appreciate it. There is one more thing we have to do. People are wondering about our 50-50 raffle. And we're going to do that in 1 second. But first, we want to check in with SOAR Immigration Legal Services to one of our other honoree, or one of our partners. Here is SOAR Immigration Legal Services. Check them out.
I'm Caroline Vanderharten, Director of SOAR Immigration Legal Services, Program of Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon. Since 1992, Ecumenical Ministries of Oregon's SOAR Immigration Legal Services program has provided culturally competent, immigration-related legal representation and education to refugees and immigrants with limited income throughout Oregon. Every year, SOAR serves more than 2,500 clients from over 80 different countries, thanks to your support. Throughout the pandemic,
SOAR has called on AILA Oregon for support. AILA Oregon attorneys have donated resources and countless hours of legal expertise by taking on pro bono cases and participating in legal clinics. Oregon's immigrant community is stronger because of you. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. Спасибо. Grazie.
Thank you. Gracias.
Thank you, Sor. Gracias. Obrigado. Donabat. Shukriya. These are just the thank yous that I know, and we're so grateful. We're going to play one more victory game. One more victory game. This time, the person who correctly identifies the answer, the fifth person, is going to receive a $50 Whole Foods gift card. And we really want to thank our presenting sponsors, Gonzalez, and Nelson Smith, and Perilli Renison. So this is, hey, Arnav, yes, Bengali. I happen to be married to a Bengali person. This is our final victory game. And so remember, you want to put the correct answer into the chat. And if you are the fifth person to get pretty close, then we will give you the $50 Whole Foods gift card. So the question is, what does it say on the plaque in the arms of the Statue of Liberty? What does it say on the arms, on the plaque in the arms of the Statue of Liberty? This beacon of welcome to immigrants that we hopefully continue to live up to in this country. If you can tell me in the chat what it says, and that's right, it's a Whole Foods gift card, $50. Did I say World Foods? It's a World Foods gift card. Thank you, Theo. I appreciate that. There was a typo. A World Foods gift card, not Whole Foods. World Foods. Oh, that's even more fun. Okay. Yes, Samantha, you've got it. Give me your tired, you're poor. Yes, Terry, that's 2. Does anybody else have the right answer? Yes, Amy is 3. Nicely done. Give me your tired, you're poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free. Woo! Amy, that's like a lot of it. I feel like give me your tired, you're poor. Kate, yes, you've got it. Nicely done. And the next person is the person who gets the World Food, the gift card. Give me your tired, you're poor. We're going to give it to Diana. Yes. Diana, you've got it. Nicely done. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. And yes, oh, Kim, so many, Holly. And this is what we aspired to live up to, this message of welcome. And so thank you all for being here. And now we get to do one more thing. Congratulations, Diana. We get to find the winner of our 50-50 raffle. And I have very good news because we have sold 53 raffle tickets. 53 raffle tickets, which means, excuse me, that's 93 raffle tickets. Now, it's a 50-50 raffle, and we've sold 53 raffle tickets. That means that the total prize is $1,162.50, and I have put 93 numbers into this bucket. It's a glass bowl. And we have a spreadsheet where we have all of your names, all 93 people. You can see it right here in this spreadsheet. All the way down, we're going to show you to prove that, that this is what we're doing and that it's totally legit. And if you know anyone who works at the Oregon Department of Gambling, well, thank you. We're doing this by the book. All right, so here we go. I'm going to draw a number, and whoever's name is on the number that I draw, that is the person who will win $1,162.50. And the winner of our 50-50 raffle is this number, 77. Whoa, lucky 77. Who is on line 77? It is Teresa. Teresa Wright, congratulations. Nicely done, Teresa. Congrats. We are so grateful. And if you want to give Teresa a huge round of applause in the chat, there is one more organization that we get to hear from, the Immigrant and Refugee Community Organization. And we are so excited. Thank you. So to Immigrant, Refugee, and Community Organization, one more message. Here it is.
Hello, we're Immigration Legal Services.
Hi. Hello, meet you. Thank you for your support during this really challenging time. Throughout the pandemic and the very challenging last year, we have been serving our community as best we can. Your ongoing support helps us to deliver services to our immigrant and refugee community members. Also, it's helping us fund the Afghan immigration legal response during this humanitarian crisis. So, on behalf of IRCO ILS,
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you, Urko. Thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. I have to say, with our raffle and our live auction, we are over $32,000 raised this evening. Please continue to send in, and thank you to Henry for your incredible generosity. Please send in any and all contributions to support. We would be so, so grateful. And I do want to remind everyone that our silent auction and the paddle raise will stay open until this Sunday. Until Sunday, yes, October 17th at 8 p.m. So if you know of anyone who wasn't here with us this evening, who might consider supporting the Oregon Immigrant Foundation, AILA, we would be so, so grateful. To our 3 award recipients, again, congratulations on your so, so well-deserved awards. We are so, so grateful for all of your work. Thank you all for being here, and we will see you next year at our annual AILA Gala and the fundraiser for the Oregon Immigrant Foundation. Have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and good night.